Astrology isn't just about signs and symbols. It's a tool for navigating real life. Hello, and welcome to Astrology with Alisa. I'm your host, Alisa Dixon, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's dive in. You guys, something big happened in the sky this week. Uranus officially entered Gemini for the first time in 84 years. Did you catch that? 84 years. This is a really big deal. Uranus is the planet of change, of rebellion, of sudden insight and breakthroughs. It's electric. And Gemini is fast. It's curious, flexible, mental. Uranus in Gemini means change is speeding up, especially in how we think, communicate, and learn. If you felt like things were slow or stuck these past few years, you're not imagining it. Uranus has been in Taurus since May of 2018. And Taurus energy, it digs in. It resists change. It clings to what's familiar, to what's stable, to what feels safe and secure. But Uranus and Gemini, that's change that moves, that questions everything, that breaks up old patterns. This is a wake-up call to your mind, to your ideas, to the thoughts you've been repeating that may not be true anymore. And when Uranus, also known as the restless rebel of the universe, when he moves from earth to air, we all feel that shift. Now, here's where astrology gets personal. If you have strong air or fire sign energy in your chart, so that's Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius as the air signs, or Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, those are the fire signs, this shift might actually feel really good. You might feel energized, inspired, like finally things are moving. You're ready to go. But if you've got more earth or water energy in your chart, that's Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn as the earth signs, or Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, those are the water signs. This may feel a little more jarring or unsettling at first. You might feel a little out of your comfort zone, like life is picking up speed and you're not sure how to keep up. But don't worry, you're not being left behind. You're just being invited to loosen your grip a little, to try something new, to give yourself permission to shift, to reframe how you think, to stop holding on to stories that aren't working anymore. Even the little ones. Here's a small, silly example from my life. I used to wear t-shirts all the time, but in the last few years, I can't stand the sleeves. I love tank tops. I'll wear 3/4 length sleeves, but I can't stand the way a regular t-shirt feels on my arms. I don't know exactly when this shifted, but I'm always in a tank, never sleeves. Well, recently I saw a friend's daughter wearing a t-shirt that had been cut into a tank. Her mom, my friend, had snipped off the sleeves, and it looked so cute. So I thought, I've got this t-shirt that I wish I could wear, but I never do. What if I just tried it? What have I got to lose? So I cut the sleeves off, put it on, and I loved it. I texted my friend who had just snipped her daughter's sleeves. I sent her a picture of me in the shirt and said, "Tracy, you have changed my life." I found more t-shirts that I wanted to wear. I cut another set of sleeves off, and I did it again, and again, and again. Now I've got a whole drawer full of tank tops that used to be t-shirts, and I'm so excited to wear them. It's such a small thing, but honestly, it was a shift. It was me giving myself permission to change, to break out of an old preference that didn't actually work anymore. It felt rebellious in the best way. That's Uranus at work. And while it showed up outwardly in a small way, just cutaway t-shirt sleeves, this small action was the product of a big internal shift inside of me. With the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, when they move, we feel it internally. Not always huge, life-altering changes, but internal ones. The kind where you suddenly don't think the same way you did before, and you start acting differently because of it. My husband thinks I'm crazy. Recently, all I can talk about is how I feel like a totally new woman in my cutoff t-shirts. Uranus doesn't always feel comfortable. In fact, it can feel very uncomfortable at first. But you feel pressure to make changes, and it's best to ride the energy and go with it. Here's a bigger example of a shift in my life right now. I'm just going to say it. I've been afraid of social media. I know that sounds ridiculous. I've been on Facebook for years, but that's the platform I know and I've been comfortable with. Once Instagram, TikTok, YouTube started picking up, I froze. I didn't adopt them. I avoided them. But a few months ago, when I launched this podcast, I knew I had to get comfortable with more social media platforms to promote my podcast and bring more astrology out into the world. Instagram seemed like a logical place to start, so I tried. A little. A few stories here and there, but no real plan. No consistency. Then, a few weeks ago, I set a real goal for myself for this summer: to stop being afraid of it, to learn how to use different platforms, to find a rhythm and a style that works for me, and just get out there and start doing it. Do videos on YouTube, make reels. Don't worry about them being perfect. Just do it. And I'm still figuring it out. It's still very uncomfortable, but I'm sharing this here with you all to hold myself accountable to actually do it. That's the thing about Capricorn people. We have to follow through on what we say we're going to do. So now I'm really doing it. But here's where the astrology gets a little wild. Remember, Uranus just moved into Gemini on Monday. Gemini rules my 6th house, which is all about daily routines, work, and habits. And Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, sits in my 2nd house, the house of values, resources, and how we earn a living. So the intention I set to shift my day-to-day routines, to start communicating my astrology work in new ways, to promote my practice and this podcast more openly, it all lines up perfectly with Uranus entering Gemini and where it's hitting me specifically in my chart. And I didn't even plan it that way. That's what I love about astrology. Sometimes the energy moves through you before you're even aware of it. And when you realize you're already aligned, that's the magic. That's when you lean in and harness it fully. You don't need to micromanage every moment. You just need to pay attention to what's already trying to move through you. So where is Gemini in your chart? That's where Uranus is stirring things up. And over the next 7 years, it's going to move through that area, inviting you to shift and change things up. Now, Gemini rules the mind. So this is an especially powerful time to challenge your beliefs, to rewire how you think and how you speak, to question the narrative that you've been living by. What old thoughts are ready to be cleared out? What stories are you ready to stop telling? And what might be possible if you let yourself change? Here's one more very powerful layer. Uranus isn't working alone. This year, Pluto moved into Aquarius, another air sign. Right now, since Uranus moved into Gemini, both Pluto and Uranus are in the same element, air. When planets are in the same element, they work together really well. And these two in particular are pushing for transformation. Uranus wants radical, rebellious change. Pluto brings power, the focus, and the intensity. When they work together, that's change with depth. Not surface level, not fleeting, but transformational. This is a really special sky right now. You can do hard things under this sky. You can change what you thought would never change. You can break free from the old version of yourself and become someone who surprises even you. The message I want to leave you with on this transit: trust the energy, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when it shows up in weird little ways, like a t-shirt you used to wear but now doesn't feel right, or a creative idea that you're scared to try, or a routine that needs to evolve. Trust it. Lean into it. You don't have to be fearless. You just have to be willing, because resisting the change, that's what makes it hard. But when we open the door, even just a little, we let the magic in. Uranus will be in Gemini for the next 7 years. So this isn't about rushing. It's about staying open, getting curious, and challenging your old assumptions, one small shift at a time. And if you want help figuring out what Uranus and Gemini means for your chart, I'd love to do a reading for you. You can book online on my website, www.astrologywithalisa.com. We'll find your Gemini house, your Mercury placement, and map out how you can best use this energy to evolve in a way that's true to you. And if you'd like to watch me do astrology live, mark your calendar for this Sunday, July 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'll be joining Thomas Miller and Kristen Lawhead on the Fun Astrology Podcast YouTube channel to do a special free live webinar on Saturn and Aries. And we're going to be looking at charts and talking about the energy. I'm really excited. Saturn is another planet that brings big changes, but in a totally different way than Uranus. I'll leave the link to the Fun Astrology Podcast YouTube channel in the show notes, so it'll be handy for you when we go live on Sunday the 13th. I hope to see you there, and you'll all be seeing a lot more of me on social media here soon. Thanks again for listening, and take care. I'll see you next time.